Things we see on the media can often lead us to making comparisons with other people and their life and how they're doing so well. But I just want to remind you that it is okay to not have it all together. So when someone is sizing you up to see you in comparison to them, to see if you're doing better or less than they are, that person also doesn't have it all together. Even the person that has it all together doesn't actually have it all together. You need not to worry, but you have to fight for your joy. You have to know that no matter what happens in this life, something better is coming. If something doesn't go your way, God has a better plan. If something is not for you, it's not for you. What makes you different from other people is how strong your faith is, and it's how you strengthen yourself because you are prepared for these battles. Hi guys, my name is JaraGeorgia and I create faith-based content, lifestyle content and basic content. I wanted to share this video especially with the fact that this is the 10th month of the year, and most of us when we started this year, we started with affirmation, goals, and being in October now, it's scary for some of us because we felt like we haven't achieved as much as we thought we were, or we did not have the resources to do those things, and it can really make us feel like we left our goals behind. Maybe we don't have it all together like we planned it out. I just wanted to highlight this because the things we see on the media can often lead us to making comparisons with other people and their life and how they're doing so well. But I just want to remind you that it is okay to not have it all together. It's okay to feel behind. It's okay to feel like you're not there yet. Today we're going to be talking about our biggest enemy, and that is anxiety. We're going to be talking about that boy because that boy is our biggest enemy. We're going to be talking about everything that encompasses it: worrying, fear, doubt, every content in that word of anxiety. We're going to be using scriptures to back it all. And I just decided to shoot this because I just wanted to give us a sense of encouragement. This is actually the beginning of my channel. So I remember I have this Christian community, the Christian Connect. We did a meetup where we sat down together and we spoke about how we found our salvation in Christ. And in everybody's story, everybody had a part, or rather just a struggle with anxiety. Anxiety was the most common attribute in everybody's story, and that is why I have to talk about this thing, because not just my Christian community, but everyone goes through this thing called anxiety and worrying about tomorrow. Now, anxiety means to be greatly worried about something. It was like the moment we were cautious about how we look, the things we were doing, the pressure from our parents, our peers, anxiety and worrying just came. Like sometimes I envy babies so much because being a child, I didn't care about how I looked. I did not care about what picture I posted tomorrow. I didn't care about what I was going to eat. It was like, I think the moment we entered, I would say primary school, or maybe from just 1, just 2, started worrying, started gaining self-conscious, validation from our peers, friendship, exam, just worrying and being anxious about tomorrow. Most of us that are done with high school now, when we look back at SS3, when we're struggling to write over it, we just laugh about it. Or if someone in that position comes into there like, my work exam is coming, you just be like, the small, because we overcame it. We overcame that part of our life, and that is why our worries do not define us, because no matter what life throws at us, we would always overcome it, always overcome those things that we're so focused on. In Galatians, it talks about the fruit of the Spirit, which is love, joy, and happiness, and those spirits inside us, we just have to claim it because God's Spirit dwells inside us. As believers, joy is in our DNA. Like freedom is all about mindset. In Matthew chapter 13 verse 22, it talks about how if you care about this world, the cares of this world will choke you. I'm going to drink because I've been there and I escaped Iran. Very 90 girl also made an example to this, that a fog cannot fill a cup. So if you think of a fog is this cloudy type of smoky harmattan. Just imagine harmattan. Compare that to worrying, okay? When you have so much noise in your head, you can't think straight. But if you take a cup into that fog, it cannot fill that cup up, which means that those worries and those unnecessary thinking is not valid. If you think about it, 92% of our worries are just valid. Even the situations that have never happened, we think about it. The worst case scenarios, we think about it. I don't know if it's because we're so curious to know what if. I don't know. I'm just put ourselves into the unnecessary pressure. What if he doesn't like me? What if they don't like me? What if they don't like this? One thing I've realized about human beings is that we are so selfish. We care care for ourselves so much, especially in this Nigeria. We care and we love ourselves so much, but yet we care so much about what people think, care so much about how they see us. You can care about how you're presented, but we've put people's thoughts and opinion above all, and the only validation you should seek should be God approval. So I'm not trying to say that worrying is not valid, but I'm just trying to say that it does not solve the situation, it does not solve the problem. So instead of worrying, you can take another step into that by being active, by acting towards that thing. And this can be seen in the Bible where Jesus spoke about worrying. He said that we should not worry. He made a comparison with us and the birds in the sky. He said, think not of what you're going to eat or wear, and then look at those birds in the sky. They do not sow or reap any fruit, but God still provides for them. So are you better than him? That can be so deep. And then he made another comparison to lilies and flowers. He said, look at the lilies and how they do not toil or grow rotten, and that God has still clothed them. But what makes you think he can't clothe you? It's another assurance. They need not to worry about anything. The Bible is against worrying. There's thousands of passages that talks about how you have to trust God and worrying is not the answer. This is the sad part, and this is why some people think twice about Christianity. When people think about Christianity, they always think, oh, they're all good, but we're just like you, we're just living for God. But the sad part about this is that the Bible is not all about prosperity. Now I'll say this again, the Bible is not all about prosperity. It says in Philippians 1 verse 29 that it has been granted that for his sake we must suffer for his. As far as you're a Christian, or rather you're a believer in truth, you are a target. So you are going to suffer for his sake. So just because you're doesn't mean that your life is going to be all rosy, your life is going to be void of the challenges of this world. As long as you are on this earth, you are not void in the challenges, you're not void to the problems, you are going to face them. What makes you different from other people is how strong your faith is, and it's how you strengthen yourself because you are prepared for these battles. It's how you have beaten your chest and said, God is with me and I am not going to be shaken. I am going to remain unshaken. You need not to worry, but you have to fight for your joy. You have to know that no matter what happens in this life, something better is coming. Even before I found my salvation, that has been my dry flat. There was something better. If something doesn't go your way, God has a better plan. If something is not for you, it's not for you. And some things are not for everybody. You'd have seen one Guinness World Record. You Nigeria. Who wanted to win Guinness World Record? It's not for everybody. We need to know that life is more than food, clothes, and materialistic things. The book of Luke chapter 12 verse 15 talks about it. It talks about how the things you possess, the abundance of wealth that you have does not define you. I feel like being fascinated about materialistic things is so vague. When you define success and fulfillment to things that you own, you're going to live a life of comparison. See, everything has its time and season. This is something that I have learned from my dad. When I was little, like I said in my previous video, I was such in a hurry to just fix my nails when I was tall. And it's really reflecting in our world today. The things we do now, I don't think people realize that it has an impact on the next generation that is coming. Girls now that are 14, 13, 12 do not even look their age because beauty standards is this frontal wig. Beauty standards is basically looking like a full-grown woman. That is the beauty standard. And then would always tell me everything has its time and season. Beauty just come out every day. And that always tells me that you will meet them. You'll be able to afford these things. Still be in a worry to have all those things and deprive yourself. Because when you often compare yourself to all these people that have all this wealth, it makes us to feel left behind. And that is why you have to embrace the present. It's named present because it is a present. When you just sit down and you're still and you just think about the things that you have now, the joy and the success of the things you have. Like, we take life for granted so much. I always pray to God that, and I always thank him that. For the fact that I can breathe, I am so grateful. For the fact that I can walk, all these little things is what makes life meaningful. It just makes you wake up and go forth in life. And not the things, they do not define you. They're not going to bury you with all your money. It is just you in that grave. I heard that the richest place is the grave. And do you know why it's the richest place? Most of those people could not attain their purpose. They could not serve the purpose that God had given to them because they lived a life that God did not ordain for them. They were led astray. So often oftentimes we forget that we are living in the present. And when we see that the blessings are not coming, we fail to see that we are living in that blessing. What we have prayed for is what we are living in. But because of human beings, we are never just satisfied. And that is how economics ever came about, because the basic economic principle is that human beings are not satisfied. You cannot satisfy everybody. Not everyone is going to like you. Not everybody is going to want you. I just wish you guys to learn to live in the present and be grateful for what you have in the present, so that you have the opportunity to be in the state of learning the acceptance of what is right in front of you. Most of us tend to act like we have it all together. We don't want people to see that we're struggling. We don't want people to see that we're battling with certain things. And it's great, really. It's okay that you're trying to set a boundary, but do not deceive yourself. You have to accept the fact that, okay, I feel like I'm behind. What can I do? I feel like we've all had this phase. And to think about it, I don't think anybody on this earth has mastered life. If you like know all the physiology, psychology, you know it all. You can never master life to perfection. You need to know these key things, that everything is working in your favor. And if you think about it, everything that you have been through in this life has prepared you to be who you are. I'm going to speak personally. Everything that I have been through, I am proud to say that it has shaped me and it has prepared me to be who I am, and more to come for this Georgia that you see in future. Life is just void of challenges. It's to make us strong, make us better. Failing is when you don't even try at all. But when you fail and you continue to try, that is progress. You continue to know what is for you and what is not for you. God is working for your own good. Things do not go your way. It's not for you. Not everything is for you, like I said before. They have to trust in Him. And let me tell you something. As bad as you think your life is, or as bad as you think your situation is, somebody envies you.
What? Think about it.
Somebody envies your position. Someone envies where you are. Someone is looking at you and they wish they had your life. All things are working together for your own good. The exams you've written has gotten you to the schools that you want to be. The things you have worked for has gotten you things that you desired. There's always a fruit out with that leaf. Instead of worrying, act on it. Act on that worry. If it's something that you cannot handle, give it to God. Let's handle it for you. This is another key thing. When you have Jesus, you are richer than the richest. In life without Jesus is as vague. I don't know how to describe it. As long as you have Jesus, you are the richest person ever, because that's all you could have to be sustained. And sometimes you need to realize that you might ask God for something and He may not give you immediately, because He knows that you are not prepared for it, or He knows that you can't handle it. You're asking God for riches, for wealth, so I not give it on time, because He knows that your heart is not as pure in terms of handling the money the right way. When there's money, there's power. If they are granting those things, they will turn away from God. So God knows why He blesses some people with that money. And also, you may not give you what you desire because you complain a lot. Think about the Israelites when they were on a journey with Moses to the land of fruits and honey in Canaan, and they kept complaining. That journey was supposed to be for 11 days, but because they were complaining, God gave them, was it 4 years or 40,000 years? They stressed their journey, so it took them a while before they got there. Now, how do you handle anxiety? Anxiety comes when you're not prepared. It comes when you're in shock. And you're thinking. So to handle it, you have to practice, okay? You have to create a path. You also have to pray, make a request to God, because you cannot do it alone. You have to do it with someone. God said 2 are better than 1, because when one falls, the other carries the other person up. Do you always need to surround yourself with people that uplift you, okay? I don't want to go into toxic relationships, not just with the opposite sex, but parents, friends. So I'll keep saying this, that the people you surround yourself with, they plant a seed. And if you keep feeding on the negativity that they share on you, you would honestly go in that. One of my most important prayer is always to tell God to direct me to people who are like me, people who want to be career driven, people who fear Him, people who would always tell me the truth. Nobody is perfect, but please, I always pray to God for genuine friends, because it is so hard in this world to find people, or rather girls, who are all the qualities I just mentioned, okay? You also have to let God's will be done. You have to commit that thing into God's hand, especially for situations that can't control control, like the visa approval, something like the outcome of your exam. You can't work on that. Anything you set your mind to, I believe you can. Another good thing is that you also have to praise God in anticipation of that blessing that you're about to get. You have to be grateful and keep praising Him, keep worshiping Him, and be grateful for that blessing that is coming. You guys need to understand that there is power in the way you think. There's power in your mindset. There's power in your tongue. The Bible says that the power of life and death is on your tongue. But the way you think and the way you speak, when you personalize things to yourself, you magnify it. So when you're always making your mind fixated on the things that you lack, or you criticize yourself, you magnify it than it is. The one you magnify it, you manifest those things. The one you tell yourself, I can't do it, you are making a manifestation on that spot. So the power of your tongue, it is so important. That is why when God said this popular song, let the weak say I am strong, let the poor say I am rich. That song does not say let the rich think I am strong, let the poor think I am rich. It does not say think or do. It says say. So there is power with the things you say. So when you are struggling with something and you know you're about to give up, speak. When I mean speak, pray. Because the covenants have been made in the Bible, and because of Jesus has died for us, we are obliged to those covenants that He has instilled in the scriptures. So joy, peace is the fruit of the Spirit, and those spirits towards us, we just have to activate those spirits and not deprive it. So when someone is sizing you up to see you in comparison to them, to see if you're doing better or less than they are, that person also doesn't have it all together, and they are just reflecting it on you to make themselves feel better, because that person is in a place of fear, which is why they reflect it. I keep on saying that the most insecure people are the people that are bullying. The most insecure people are people that are so negative, because that is how they see themselves, but they don't want to face it, they don't want to accept it. So making other people feel less than they are gives them a sense of joy. Remember that when someone is sizing you up to the thought process that they thought they had of you, you are already that person. You're either just proving them right. I mean, in the positive aspects, of course. So remember, there is a light on you, and people seeing something in you, and that is why they are attracted to you. And that is why they even size you up. That is why they would even come to interrogate you and be like, oh, she's not even all that. Oh, she's not even all that. So because they see a light in you, and that is why they want to size you up. But do not let that plant a seed of doubt in your mind at all. You being here right now is good enough for you. I'm speaking for myself and I'm speaking for you, because you are your own competition. Remember that you cannot compare the sun to the moon, but they both rise at their own timing. So everything has its time, and we all grow differently. All fingers are not equal for a reason. So you have to embody that person and manifest it. All that you desire is yet to come. You just have to work towards it. God has been so good to me, and I have been so obedient, and I have been trying my best to do all I can to glorify Him in every step that I take, and I keep seeking Him and craving Him every day of my life. And with that, it's enough for me, and all I can say is thank you and be happy in the present. Like when I have my God beside me, who else? Another key thing to note is that because of people see your light, they will mask themselves like they're your friend. But meanwhile, they have no intention to be your friends at all. Most of them just want to tap out of your blessing. And lots of people are like that. People will always pull towards you when they see this light in you. So when people pull towards you, don't act like this is something new or you're surprised. You have that light and it's within you internally. You just have to recognize it and utilize that thing. So you have to be on guard, stay focused, and do not compare yourself to anybody. It is you versus you, and having God to guide you on that journey towards anything you want. I'm not trying to say comparison is bad, okay, but comparison should be done in the positive way. For example, I do not compare myself to some people, but whenever I see some people's life, there's people that inspire me. They inspire me to be better. They inspire me to be like, how can I walk towards being like this person? What are the principles and attributes that that person has that I can have, that I can walk towards? So rather than fixating on, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, therefore I'm a failure. But rather, you see that person and you're envious of them, wants to be in that position, and you're angry at yourself for not being in that position, you're angry at your parents for not taking it to that school abroad, or angry at God for not putting in that position. But what if it's not for you? Why can't you look at it in a positive aspect? Like sometimes we have to sit down to clap for people who have gotten there. It is not easy sometimes to get to a certain level in life. So when I clap for them, I just feel my own time is coming. Even if it doesn't come, I am God's baby. That is enough. You have to applaud people because the beginning of jealousy and hatred towards someone for no reason is because someone has seen something in you that they don't have, and they see that light and they are angry and they envy you. That would lead to jealousy to hatred to evil cause. And should you get to that level, rather you should look at that person, let that person inspire you, and challenge yourself into being that person. Try and test it. If it doesn't work for you, then you know, okay, is this for that person? There are always different angles into certain things in this life about comparison. But when you're about to compare yourself to someone, take a principle that they have and apply it onto your own life. It is so helpful because you know that you're just walking for the favor of your life, and choose not to say, oh, they're better than me. I remember when I was in that phase of visa denial. I don't know if you guys know Stephanie Moka. She's my mate, okay? Graduated, we both took a gap year. We both applied to Canada. She got her visa, got her dream course. I got my visa denied. I did not get my dream course. Comparing ourselves. But you guys need to know that there are two people in the Bible. I and Stephanie, Joseph and David. Joseph and David are two different people. Joseph went through a lot before he became the ruler of Egypt. So he had his brothers dumping him in a pit. From grace, he became his Potiphar's servant. Then from there, he got thrown back into prison, but still became a leader. But that took a long time. David was just taking care of sheep, and then he had Goliath insulting the Israelites, and was angry and killed him, and he rose towards kingship. So those are two different people, but they both achieved the same thing. They both went through two different experiences, and they were also age mates. Because of you are not doing well, and someone you know is doing better than you are, you should not let that deprive you. Do not question God. I'm just thinking about what Joseph went through. Just, for one, question God. He's still carrying that same faith, that same zeal, that same love. So imagine in Joseph and David were two friends, and Joseph envied David. So this is I and Stephanie now actually envied her. I'm just like, why isn't this working for me? Because everything was so good for her. She got her perfect apartment. Everything I dreamt, she got. But I didn't get mine. I didn't know that God had another plan for me that was in favor for me, and not that will. Okay, that works for her, but that was not what God wanted for me. That it's fine. Once you feel the sign of comparison, enviness, or jealousy, you need to turn it to motivation, because jealousy is a thing. Jealousy is actually so bad. With anyone doing good in this life, if I believe they have it, I can have it too. The matter of time, my own determination, and God's will. That's all it takes. So whenever you see someone that has it all together, never be like, oh, I'm sure they have it all together. No, stop. Take a step back, look at that person and be like, okay, I'm sure she's happy. No, because they deserve that. No one knows what happens behind the scenes. No one talks about how much they struggle. Do not compare yourself to anyone, and do not size yourself up with anybody, and know that you are right on track, and it is okay to feel like you don't have it all together. Right now, you're in the present time of where you're supposed to be. It is okay to be where you are right now. So guard yourself. It's not everyone that's your friend. Lastly, leave a comment or an experience that you struggled so much with, but now you overcame it. And this brings us to the end of the video. I hope you gained something today, and I hope you now know that anxiety is nothing, and it's in the bin. I love you, and God bless you. I'll see you in my next video.